My name is Victoria Winters. Night has come to Collinwood and the country around, and with it has come a terror which has no name and no known source. It is greater than a fear that stalks the earth, because it is a fear that haunts the mind, without shape, without form, until in dreams a form is found, and one is led to it down windless corridors, and forced, finally, to look upon its face.
Joe, please answer. Please answer.
Hello?
Joe, it's Maggie.
Maggie, what's the matter? You sound a little strange.
Joe, I need you. Please come right away. Please.
What's happened?
I can't talk now. Please come right away.
I'll be right there.
Hurry, please.
Double brandy and a bourbon.
I really don't need a drink.
That's what you think.
Joe, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry.
For what? For not realizing you need a drink?
For acting this way. It just isn't like me.
Well, I know. That's why I know something pretty frightening must have happened to you.
But when I tell you about it, you'll think I'm really being silly.
You let me be the judge of that.
I had a dream.
A dream?
I told you it would sound silly, but it was so real. It scared me so much, even remembering it.
All right, wait till you have your drink, huh?
Oh, this is ridiculous. I'm not a child, Joe. I shouldn't even have called you.
Well, I don't agree to that. There. Come on, now, sip this slowly.
Oh, thanks. It does feel good.
Oh, I knew that's what you needed.
We've got liquor at home. We could have stayed there.
Oh, you needed to get out of the house. The ride did you good? You feeling a little better?
A little.
Look, do you have any idea what your dream was all about?
I've every idea. It was so real. That's what was so frightening about it.
Can you tell me what happened in it?
I was dead.
Dead.
I was in a kind of a woods. And there was a coffin. Slowly it opened, all by itself. And I looked to see who was inside.
All right, just take it easy.
Joe, it was me.
You?
I saw myself in that coffin. I was dead. My eyes were closed, and I was dead. Well, I started to scream, and then it was as though I was in the coffin looking back at myself. But it wasn't me. It was a skull screaming at me.
All right, now, here. Come on, sip it slowly.
At first in the dream, I wasn't afraid. And then all of a sudden, for no reason, I started to get afraid. It was as though I was going in search of what was frightening me. But the search made me all the more frightened.
Well, listen, do you have any idea what might have caused such a dream? Think for a minute. Has anything happened recently? Anything that might have frightened you?
Not that I can remember.
Maybe something at the coffee shop or someone.
No. No one, nothing.
Well, listen, you have heard about the ladies that have been attacked in the area recently.
Yes?
But don't you think that might be it?
I don't know.
Well, it makes sense to me. It's enough to give any woman nightmares.
Joe, I don't know why, but I have the feeling that there's more to it than that.
What?
I don't know.
I insist upon buying you a drink. The work you did on that portrait tonight is nothing short of superb.
I accept the compliment. And the drink.
Joe, please don't tell my father about the dream.
Maggie, I thought you were home with thoughts of sleep.
I'm afraid I'm the bad influence. I convinced her to come out for a nightcap.
Oh, I'd say that was an influence for the good. Oh, Joan, you know, Mr. Collins? Mr. Barnabas Collins?
Yes, how are you, Haskell?
Fine, thanks. And you?
Oh, restless. But I expect it's proper for a man adapting himself to new surroundings. And how are you, Miss Evans?
Very well, thank you. Oh! I'm sorry.
Oh, Maggie. Now, I thought I brought you up better than to go around spilling good drink.
How could I be so clumsy?
Here, use this.
I'll get a cloth from the...
No need, really. There now, if I may, I'd like to order for all of us. If I may.
That's very kind of you. Thank you.
But I hope you don't mind the intrusion.
Not at all.
You're very kind.
Thank you.
Maybe I should do all my painting at night. I seem to work a lot better then.
Yes, the night. It always seems to allow one to be more in touch with himself, with what he truly is. Do you agree, Mr. Haskell?
Oh, I don't know. I'm the kind of person that likes to get up early in the morning most of the time.
And you, Maggie?
I never thought about it.
But doesn't the night affect you in a very strange way?
Sometimes. Would you like to dance, Joe?
Try me and see. You excuse us?
Well, I'd say the night affects her in a very special kind of way.
You realize, do you not, what an extraordinary daughter you have?
Oh, I realize it, all right.
I spoke just now of the night affecting us in a personal way. She doesn't need the night. She's always the same person. Kind, generous, gentle.
And a little temperamental sometimes, too. You know, you gotta give her that credit.
Oh, I do.
You know, no woman is worthwhile without a little fire in her veins.
I'm sure.
You're still trembling.
No. I'm all right, really, Joe.
Just hang on tight. You'll be okay.
Still Well, I'm afraid I'm not very good company.
No complaints from here.
Joe, what would I ever do without you?
Well, for one thing, you'd look a little silly dancing all by yourself.
Haskell is a very fortunate man. If it were my nature, I'd envy him.
Oh, come on, there's a little envy in all of us.
Well, perhaps it's overwhelmed by the better instincts your daughter inspires in all of us.
Oh, no, you got out of that one all right.
No, I'm perfectly serious. Maggie does seem capable of bringing out the best in oneself.
Well, yes, if I didn't know you better, I'd say that you were getting interested.
Interested, of course. Involved, of course not.
Joe,
What?
could we have our drink at the bar?
At the bar?
Do you mind?
Well, no, if your pop won't think we're being rude.
He won't mind. He knows we'd rather be alone.
Well, what about Barnabas? He seems like sort of a nice guy. I don't want to insult him.
We'll just go over to the table and ask them to excuse us. They won't mind. I know they won't.
Okay. You're still pretty upset, aren't you?
No. I'm feeling much better, but I'd rather not come back to the table, that's all.
Okay. I understand.
I wish I did.
That dream really threw you, didn't it?
The dream? Oh, yes. The dream.
No. This one's on me. Bob, put it on my tab, will you?
Listen, why don't you let me buy you another one of those brandies, huh?
No, thanks.
I think you need it, Mag.
No, I'm
Hello,
feeling...
Joe. Hi, Maggie.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
Hope I'm not interrupting. I just dropped in for a nightcap.
Oh, please join us if you want to.
Hey, look, Maggie, I'm the last guy in the world to worry about manners, but I did just tell your father and Barnabas that we wanted to be alone. What's it going to look like?
Barnabas? Barnabas Collins? Is that the man sitting with your father?
Yes.
I've wanted to meet him for a long time. I wouldn't join you now, even if you asked me.
I don't get it. What'd you do, have a fight with your old man that I didn't know about?
Of course not.
Well, then why don't you want to go over and sit at that table? It can't be because you want us to be alone.
Do I have to make sense all the time?
No, but you just make me a little curious, that's all. So you don't have anything against Barnabas, do you?
Oh, you know better than that.
Well, then what is it?
I don't know. It's nothing. Can't we just have our drink?
Sure.
Barnabas
Devlin.
Collins, huh?
Yes, of course. My man, the man who works for me, Willie Loomis, mentioned your name.
Not favorably, I'm sure.
Oh, he did say there was some trouble between you, but he seemed very sorry about it.
Willie, sorry?
Yes, according to him, it was entirely his fault.
Willie Loomis said that.
Yes, you seem surprised.
I'm speechless.
Well, you haven't seen Willie lately. He's a changed man.
I know it's none of my business, but if I were you, I'd get rid of him.
Well, I certainly will if there's any further trouble. But Willie seems quite agreeable. He works very hard and effectively, and I believe that he will be perfectly all right.
Yes, he's quite a different man. I can't describe it.
I'm quite confident that Willie will give no one any trouble.
Well, I hope you're right.
I'm sure I am. Bartender, but please, allow me to erase some of the ill feeling caused by my man. Won't you join us for a drink?
Well, yes, I'd like to, thank you.
Good.
The usual one.
And please don't worry about Willie. I'm a man who can't stand even the thought of violence. I'm the last man in the world who would have anyone near me who even contemplated the thought of it. Serenity is my favorite emotion.
You sure you don't want another one of those before we go?
No, thanks.
How are you feeling?
Much better. And wonderfully tired. I'm sure I'll sleep like a baby.
Good.
Joe,
What?
thanks.
Anytime.
Oh, you better be careful. You were lucky this time. I went to bed early.
I said anytime. Shall we say our good nights?
Joe, could you say goodnight for me?
Maggie, what's the matter? Now, for a minute, I thought you were really okay.
Well, I am.
Well, then why don't you even want to go over to the table and say goodnight?
I didn't say I didn't want to go over to the
You
table.
didn't want to sit there before, and you're avoiding it now.
No, I'm not. Joe, let's both go over and say goodnight. Come on. We just came over to say goodnight.
Oh, well, I'll see you in the morning.
Good night.
Good night, Maggie. Good night, Joe.
Good night.
Good night, Mr. Haskell. Good night, Maggie.
Good night.
Sweet dreams.
Thank you.
Maggie?
Oh.
You awake?
Pop, come on in.
Oh, I thought you would have been asleep hours ago. I saw the light under the door.
I started to read. I guess I got interested.
Oh? Well, but not interested enough to hold the book the right side up. What's the matter?
Well, I guess I'm just not tired.
Well, you look tired. Something wrong?
No.
Oh, you and Joe, did you have a little fight or something? Hmm?
No, believe me, nothing's wrong, Pop.
You sure?
Honest, Pop.
Well, then why don't you get in bed and try to have a little sleep, huh?
All right.
I know you're a little bit old for it, but would you like me to tuck you in? Hmm?
Thanks, but I'll be all right.
Sure. Maggie, now what's wrong? Come on. You're acting just like you did when you were a little child, when you used to have nightmares.
Nightmares? Now, that would be silly, wouldn't it? To be afraid of bad dreams like a little child?
You're still my little child. You're my little Maggie. Now, if you're afraid of anything, I want you to tell me about it.
There's nothing to be afraid of, Pop. I'm not afraid. Good night.
Good night, Maggie.
I'm glad you admire it. It has quite a history, you know.
Family heirloom.
Yes, dating way back.
Looks like it could have been a weapon originally.
Really? We like to think of it as representing a savage beast tamed and made familiar. A servant almost. Dedicated to assisting us in something so common and civilized as a casual evening stroll.
I've never seen anything quite like it before. A man could develop a real swagger carrying something like that.
Oh, on the contrary, carrying this, one does not need a swagger.
Yeah. Do you mind if I get the feel of it a little?
Not at all.
Nice and heavy. It certainly doesn't look tame to me, but then I guess if you could tame our Willie, you could, a wild wolf wouldn't cause you any problems. Do you know what metal it's made of?
Of course, it's...
Looks like pure silver, isn't it?
I beg your pardon.
I just wondered, is it silver?
I'm sorry. Could we discuss this some other time? I just remembered there's something that I have to do. Please excuse me.
Oh, yes, of course.
Good night, Stedlin. I hope we'll see you again soon.
Dark Shadows is a Dan Curtis production.